Hey guys, we're live and my hair's messy. Wow, well, thank you all for joining in. Hopefully on Twitter, the link has been tweeted because I, as per usual, made a nice little tech mistake and forgot to send the link to Insticator to tweet. Okay, wait, we have some comments coming in. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah, Kanga is saying that she clicked on it earlier, the link earlier, and it was PLL. Well, Insticator is kind of like a TV channel, so you'll see different shows at different times. But the really cool thing about my time slot is that I might be able to go a little bit past our half an hour today because I got so much to tell you guys. I survived VegasCon. I was there with Chicky and Bean, also known as Shannon, and that was her debut, which was really fun to watch. But what was really exciting was 2 tables away from us was someone named Megan. She had a last name you might kind of, I don't know, Padawan, Paddle Boat. Oh, Padalecki, yeah, Megan Padalecki. We got the honor of watching her do her first book signing ever to promote her book, Big Mo, which was such an amazing thing to see. Okay, you know what? I think it's official. I think amazing is my trigger word, and if you ever watch reruns of my episode, I think you could turn it into a drinking game. So every time I say amazing, you just throw one back. And then I want to see pictures of the aftermath. And then maybe we could have a contest around that. Sound good? Great. Okay, so I want to give some shout outs. And these shout outs are to some really amazing women that I got to meet at VegasCon that I had never met before. We've only known each other through cyberspace. For example, the Winchester brothers at Winchester BROS. Finally got to meet the lovely Becky and Vinny. I am so honored to have finally met these ladies, and they came to me, which really blew my mind. 2 very down-to-earth, genuine human beings, and it was such a pleasure to meet y'all, and I hope that we continue to meet up at these events because that was great. And thank you for coming to see me. That meant a lot to me. I also got to meet the lovely Erin from SPN Crossroad. Again, I was really blown away, and it's so fantastic to get to meet everybody that I've only known through a monitor and never in person. Nurse Jackie came to see me, and forgive me if I don't remember everybody. It was literally a very crazy weekend, but we had a lot of fun. I also want to give a big shout out to the Random Acts table as well. They were there doing their thing as usual, making everybody in the room happy, smiling, and they got me. They got some really cool things going on. They were giving out friendship bracelets, which was a really nice activity for the kids to do. Oh, hi, Carrie. I'm sorry, I just saw your text. It's so great to hear from you. And also, Kanga's saying she loves Erin. I love her too. She was really, really busy. She was running crowd control at a very important event that we had the pleasure of seeing. We got to see the concert where Jensen sang. Wow. I just can't even, words do not do the man's voice any justice whatsoever. At first, when I figured out what song they were going to sing, I'm like, oh, really? Night Ranger, Sister Christian? Now I got to go download the damn thing. Thanks. But he really knocked it out of the park and did such a beautiful job. That man's voice is just out of control. He is a triple threat, hands down. Just another thing I wanted to mention is thank you to anybody who's watching my show for the first time that I met in VegasCon. It was a pleasure to really get a chance to meet y'all and get a chance to talk to you about my jewelry. It was so nice to do that, to get people asking me, what the inspiration behind my pieces was, and, how did I do this? Why did I do that? I love questions like that, so I'm open to it. Oh, okay, Kanga saw the video of Sister Christian. Yeah, crazy. crazy. Wow, where do I even begin? First of all, let me just open up the floor here. You guys, let me know, what cons have you been to? Were you at VegasCon and I missed you? Have you been to any cons this year or in previous years? Because I've started going to the cons a couple of years ago, but my understanding is that this started way before that. And I would really like to hear from people who have gone to the earlier conventions and continue to go, and just hear what the changes are, how the how the dynamics are different. From what my understanding was that, I think Jensen and Jared used to walk around like free for all, and no one kind of like jumped on them or anything, which was weird. I don't know how, so if you guys have any insight into that, I'd really love to hear about it. I would really like to make this episode about the cons, as well as me sharing the experiences that I had over the weekend. Shannon pulled me out of the vendor's room. I never leave the vendor's room. She pulled me out of the vendor's room. I was able to stay out of the vendor's room for about 5 minutes to watch Sebastian Roche's opening to his panel. And I do understand fully now why on the programs that they hand out at the conventions, why they specifically say you cannot bring children under 18 into Sebastian Roche's panel. It was very evident, and I was only there for 5 minutes. He makes Michael Jackson's crotch grabbing look like nothing. He's witty, he's hilarious, and it broke my heart that I had to leave. I was paranoid about leaving my table unattended for any length of time, so I ran back, regretfully. However, there were some other really crazy things going on. Okay, I see Kanga mentions that she's only been to Houston Con, and that was in January. And that I missed, unfortunately. I wish I could have gone to Houston Con. I've never done Houston before. And I know the next one coming up is Seattle, and I wish I could do the Seattle one. If I didn't want to, if I didn't have a day job, I would have been there in a heartbeat. But unfortunately, I have to go teach and expand minds. Believe it or not, I do that. Well, I'm paid to do that. Whether or not it happens is a whole other story. Kang is mentioning about trying to volunteer at one, and I highly recommend, looking into that. The people in creation that I know and work with are really open-minded, and I think from the volunteers that I've spoken to, they've all enjoyed the experience. So it's definitely worth looking into. And as a matter of fact, there are 2 people, I don't know, for people who have been to creation conventions, you might know Stephanie Dizon. She is in charge of the talent there. So she's the one that makes things happen in terms of getting, Jensen and Jared from point A to point B, as well as all of the other wonderful guests that are there. And she has so kindly agreed to do an interview on So Get This in an upcoming episode. And there's also another employee, a volunteer that I talk to that I see at every convention. And I only found this out this weekend, that this woman's a volunteer, not an employee. This woman busts her friggin' ass. I'm telling you, she is the supervisor for all of the volunteers. I can't even begin to comprehend what that entails. She will also be a future guest on So Get This, to give everybody a behind the scenes into what goes into a convention. How does that happen? And I see Chicky and Bean has joined us. Hey, baby. I was just about to say, before I go further, I was going to debut my tattoo, which looks really weird on a TV, on a monitor. I'm not sure if it's going to come across very well, but it's an angelic symbol that means new beginnings. So, and this was a gift to me from Chicky and Bean. Thank you. I love you. And it only hurt like really molten razor blades slicing my arm open. It was really not that bad. and I gave birth to 4 kids, you know. So let's talk about some stuff that's gone on over the weekend. So let's see. Megan Padalecki's book signing. For those of you who follow Jared, which I guess is everyone and their mother, Jared had tweeted that he was going to be at Megan's table at some point that day. And the man made good on his word. Not only was he there, but Mom and Dad were there too. So we got to spend time with Jared and Jensen's, I'm not Jared and Jensen's, Jared's and Megan's mom and dad. I unfortunately didn't get to speak to his dad at all. I did beyond a hi, but his mom is a very sweet lady. They obviously are extremely proud of their kids. And it was nice to see them just hanging and beaming while their daughter signed books away. It was really, really cool. And I bought one for my daughter Raven, and when I got home yesterday, we were reading it together, and the book really harkened back to Where the Wild Things Are. It was that quality of artwork and story, and the way she wrote it with a nice lilting rhyme. It was really a cool book. I'm glad I bought it. It was I just wish her the best. What a sweetheart. So anyway, what else? I have a list. Again, look how professional that is. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so as all of you remember, or maybe not, I did get approval to design sock monkey jewelry for the Random Acts organization, and all of the proceeds are still going to be donated to the Random Acts. Now, what happened was, because the approval only came like a week and a half before the convention, I didn't have much time to pull together quality stuff. So I gave the good college try, brought the stuff with me, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, God damn, I can't sell this. I wouldn't give this stuff away. It was embarrassing. It was pretty horrifying. Lo and behold, though, Osric walks into the vendor's room, and he always does, because he always checks out the Random Acts table, and he makes his rounds around saying hi to the vendors. He's a very sweet guy. So he comes in, and I see him over the Random Acts table, and I wanted to get his attention real quickly because I was in the middle of working on something. So I shouted, "Hey, Osric, I need you now." And he just comes moseying on over, and I gave him a sock monkey barrette. I made some sock monkey barrettes. They looked like it was just terrible. I mean, design-wise, it's going to stay the same. It just needs a lot more refining than what I had. And I said, "I need you to put this in your hair." And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm going to take a picture of you wearing it, duh." And he's looking at it. And he's saying, I said, "I know, it's shit. I know. I'm not selling them. Trust me, I'm not selling them until they're fixed. But I did want to show you the end result of, yeah, I should have had this ready, shouldn't I? The end result of, this is what happens whenever Osric comes to my table. I do things like this to him. So here is Osric wearing a very badly designed sock monkey barrette. Thank you, Osric. I love you. And Osric also did agree to be on a future episode of So Get This. He is going to get back to me with the schedule, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a fucking great night. And speaking of guests, I'm not announcing my surprise, not my surprise guest. It's not going to be a surprise at the end. I have a very, very, very important guest that's going to be lined up for next week. I'll announce that later. Travis Aaron Wade stopped by my table, and if I don't know if all you remember, stop. No, Shannon's being encouraging about my shitty sock monkey jewelry. Oh, and I'm sorry you're sick. I know we worked our asses off this weekend, so our immunity is shot. But anyway, what I was going to say is Travis Aaron Wade stopped by my table, and if you guys remember, in the BurCon convention, he was my first customer at the BurCon convention, and he had bought, I believe it was The Impetuousness of Balthazar. And so he came over and he remembered exactly which piece he bought and told me that he had given it to a good friend of his who was very impressed with it. And he will also be on a future episode of So Get This. I'm in the process of working out details on that end as well. Very, very, very excited about that. And I need my glasses again because I can't see the chat window for shit. So let's see. There was no random acts table in Houston? Wow. I know there have been a couple of cons that I've done where there was no random acts table. It's usually there, but not always. And Osric wasn't at Houston either? Wow, that's news to me. I didn't expect that. What else was I going to say? I have so much to say to you guys. It's unbelievable. And Shannon, if you can remember stuff that I can't, please jump in and remind me, because yeah, that's where my brain is. What else can I talk about? Oh, okay, my photo op. If you guys recall, my photo op from San Francisco was, oh, my husband moved it. I'm gonna go take it, hold up. My husband, and I'm covering me. My husband had asked for Jensen to insult him. Yeah, my husband doesn't like this show, but he specifically wanted Jensen. He says he doesn't like the show, but you know, I think he has a man crush. And if my husband never watches this, I'm dead, on Jensen. So he printed a picture out of himself. It's actually the picture right here. That's my husband, by the way. The James Marsden lookalike there. And he printed out that picture and printed out the word douche on the bottom. And this is the results. This is, pardon the glare, Jensen calling my husband a douche. And that's me, my face that I'm covering. Because I look like, I'm not even going to describe what I look like. So, yeah. So, now what was really big about VegasCon this time around was Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Now, I've heard different stories, and I don't know, I haven't done the research, I'll be honest with you, but I've heard that this was his first convention, but I had thought I had heard he had done them way back in the day. Not sure what's accurate. If you know the answer to that, please jump in and correct me. But it was a really big deal to have Jeffrey Dean Morgan there. So in lieu of my traditional Misha Jared Jensen photo op, I went with the Jared Jeff Jensen photo op, which I do not yet have a printout of because I had to fly out literally 10 minutes after the picture was snapped. But what I did for that photo op is I gave Jared the word still, I gave Jeff the word and I gave the douche picture again to Jensen. So it's still a douche, and Jensen and I are both pointing. And then Jared leaned over and said to me, "Is he really a douche?" And I said, "Yeah." And you know, the guys were cracking up. It was a fun moment. So that was that. So now I just want to stop my train of thought for a second, because I've got several different contests going on, and I don't know if all you are aware of that. But while I was in Vegas, we were having a contest where if you followed Instacator and you became a member of Instacator.com, which is very simple to do, by the way, all you have to do is the website you are currently on. If you sign in, and don't just come in as a guest, but if you sign in and join Instacator, you have access to all this amazing stuff. Take a drink. And also, so you have to become a member of Instacator, follow me, and then if you tweeted a selfie with me at my table at VegasCon, you were entered into a contest to win a gift certificate to my table. And I believe the winner for that will be announced tomorrow by Instacator. A second promotion that they were running was also a trivia-related question, courtesy of the Winchester brothers, I believe, right? And the winner of that will also be announced tomorrow. And that winner will win my piece, The Fortitude of Joe Harvell, which is one of my newer pieces I'm very proud of. And I'm also having yet another contest, 2 more contests. Yeah, there's a lot going on. So there's 4 contests. My Facebook page, I'm trying to get my Facebook page up to 1,500 likes. When that happens, I will be giving away a gift certificate worth $100. Everybody who has entered a like into my Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/EldwinsFantasy, you are eligible to win. And I'll put my Facebook page right here in the chat window. Facebook.com/EldwinsFantasy. There you go. Okay, so does anybody have any con experiences that they'd like to share? Jump right in. Otherwise, you're just going to keep hearing this. You know, if you want to keep hearing this. Okay, and what's the other contest? The other contest that I'm running too. And today was the deadline, but I'm extending it. I'm going to extend it out a whole week. So let's say by Sunday night, that's not a whole week because today's Tuesday, isn't it? So let's say by Monday night, okay? By Monday night, please tweet a picture of your photo op to me if you're wearing my jewelry in the photo op. And I have to be able to see the jewelry in the photo op. So if you're wearing my necklace, but you're doing the smush with Jensen and I can't see it, I can't prove that you're wearing my piece. So please tweet it to me, and by Monday night, I will, have do a drawing at random, and that winner will receive a $50 gift certificate from my shop. I think what I'm going to do is also on my Facebook page, which I just put the link to there, is I'll list all 4 contests that are going on. Actually, what I'll do is I'll list the ones that are still open for entry. That makes more sense, right? And that way you can jump right in and you'll have all the details and you won't have to keep hearing me repeat myself because I know I'm annoying. Also, tonight's prize giveaway will also be a $50 gift certificate for anything in my shop except the shirts, those you buy from Ms. Chicky and Bean over here in the chat window. Oh, yeah, there was something a little mega happening too. So Misha Collins comes walking in and he's doing his rounds. He always comes into the vendor's room and, creates a friggin' mess, right? So he's walking around, and there's another vendor on the other side of the room selling a brilliant idea. It was one of those, it's a cylinder, a glass cylinder, and if you twist it, it lights up blue. So it looked like grace, right? It was brilliant, a brilliant idea. I like mine better. But no, I didn't say that. No. For the tech nerds, if that's your speed, it's awesome. Me, I'm more of a hands-on. I need to twist wire and crush things and hammer things. But with that being said, so I saw that and it kind of sparked something in me, like, wait a minute. So I grabbed my Castiel's Grace necklace right off my fucking table and I went over, I said, Misha, you got Grace, I see. And he said, yes. Yeah, you need this one too. So I took it and I put it around his neck, and then I learned that he wore it on stage, which I happen to also have a picture of. Very, very, very excited about that. Here we go. Get away. Uh-oh. Here we go. So there is a horribly... You can't see it. Okay, but that top chain there, that's Castiel's Grace. So Cass is wearing Cass. That had to be, one of my most incredible moments, seeing one of the actors wearing that. And here's another kicker that happened over the weekend. And again, I would really really, really, really love to hear some more con experiences. Before I get into this major, story from the con, I see that Kanga mentioned something here. She wrote that she had met an amazing person who ended up giving her a meet and greet for Mark Pellegrino, and also won to Rich's meet and greet for free. And that's such a typical experience, for congoers, where not that people are giving away free things, but I'm talking about the generosity and kindness that the fans show each other. I know in cyberspace we tend to, have factions. These types of fans are not allowed to talk to these types of fans. If you like this, then you're not. But when you're at a convention, it's a completely different vibe, and you see people make friendships that they would never have made otherwise, and it's really, really heartening to see. Like Shannon and I met at a convention several years ago, and she's my best friend now, and I've made so many great friends through these conventions. Anna Marie, and now the Winchester brothers and SBN Crossroads. It's amazing how much, take a drink, how many people have come into each other's lives just because they like this show, and meeting at a convention in person, right? I see Kanga saying Sam wore one too. I will tweet the picture of Misha wearing my necklace. Now, the only thing is I didn't take that picture, so I'm trying to be nice and not claim that picture as my own, but I'll put that disclaimer, not my picture, but that is my necklace. How's that sound? Oh, yeah, here's something else that's very important that I wanted to get out there before I get into, you know what, let me backtrack. First, I want to tell you about what happened to me while I was talking to a customer. So I stepped out from around my table because I was adjusting something for a customer, and I sensed there was someone behind me, but, it's a convention. Of course, someone's behind me. I mean, there's someone everywhere. So I'm just working with this customer, and then I noticed my customer's face went like this. And I turned behind me, and it's fucking Samantha Smith. Standing right there, patiently waiting for me to finish what I was doing, to come over and say hi to me, and to tell me that she is definitely going to reschedule her interview with me so get this. So we are working on that, and she's going to be getting in touch with me soon to work out all the details. But holy shit, Samantha Smith was standing there waiting for me. How amazing drink is that? And I will show you, I gave her my Mary Winchester necklace. So let me find that. I really should just have all of these in a photo album to keep them all organized, right? So here's Samantha Smith. And I did tweet this. If you go back to my feed, I'd be happy to tweet it again. But that's Samantha Smith posing wearing the sacrifice of Mary Winchester. So Kanga's saying that Sam, not Sam Winchester. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So anyway, that's my brain, not on drugs. And, so now what I wanted to talk about, we're going to go a little bit over time. I hope that's okay with y'all, because I really did want to talk about something that I got involved with. I started to, everybody's aware of Jared's campaign, Always Keep Fighting, and that campaign hit not close to home, but it hit home. As I'm sure it did for many of us. I have family members who are suffering with depression, with suicidal thoughts, family members that have been hospitalized because of them. I myself have struggled with depression on and off over the years, and to read to read all about Jared's campaign really, really had a deep impact on me. And what I wanted to do was to give back. So what I did was, for Jared, I made a wide leather band with a silver plate stamped, "Always Keep Fighting." And what I made for us, for the fans, is a silver cuff, a simple silver cuff, also stamped with "Always Keep Fighting." I put that in my shop, and I am donating a portion of the proceeds to the cause. It's marked down to a very low price, of $25. $5 is going to be donated for every bracelet that I sell. And, I really hope that we could pay it forward and give these to, those of us who need to be reminded to always keep fighting. I myself, started wearing one. I took it off when I got home from school. But, I think that those words are very impactful, and we should all be reminded. Carrie, I'm reading what you just wrote, that it hits home for you too, and I'm so sorry to hear that. And I really, it's when it comes to mental illness and depression, it's such a taboo subject. No one talks about it. It has such a stigma to it. No one believes. I shouldn't say no one, but the perception out there is, oh, you're just feeling sorry for yourself, or oh, it's you, because it's not something that you can physically see. It's not a bruise. It's not a cut. It's in here and in here, so therefore, it doesn't get the recognition that it needs. It doesn't have the credibility. The perception of its credibility isn't there. So anything that I can do to help that, I would really appreciate, y'all also, spreading the word about this, because I think it's a worthy cause. Okay, so let's hear some more about your convention experiences. I would really love to hear it. If you were at VegasCon, or if you were at a con however many years ago, please share your story with us. And I also, we're going to have our giveaway in a few minutes. I just wanted to remind all of you that if you are going to participate in the competition, in the contest, you have to be logged into Instacator. If you're going to participate just by, if I see passenger in the chat window, I can't, even if you have the correct answer, because I don't know who you are. So please, and also, I also want to apologize if anybody that has won for me recently in the past couple of weeks, I have not yet shipped out the prizes because of preparation for VegasCon, and of course VegasCon happening. So I appreciate your patience, and I will get those out to you this week. So with that, if anybody has anything they'd like to talk about the conventions, or about the Always Fight Back campaign, or if they had any questions for me about the convention specifically. And I also, I think what I'll do while I'm waiting for you guys to come up with questions is I will announce my guest for next week. I have a guest coming in next week. And she's about yay tall. She's got a nice pixie haircut, and she says fuck a lot. Not fuck a lot, it's fuck in quotes a lot. I think it's important. Punctuation is very important, when you're trying to get around context. Yes, it is the exquisite Kim Rhodes. She will be visiting and hanging out with us next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. I am so excited. I don't have the words. So get your questions ready for Ms. Rhodes, please. And what I'm also going to do now is, since no one's really talking about the conventions, so Felicia, I am so trying to get her attention. You have no idea. That's another thing. Tell me about guests you want. Please tell me about guests that you would like, because I want to line these people up for you. Yep, Kim is coming. I'm trying to get Felicia. I'm trying to get Ruthie Connell. Trying to get Laura and Tom. If anybody's got connects, hand them over so we can make this happen. Okay, so here is the trivia question for the evening. Now, the big deal, Jensen's tweeting, by the way. I think that's where everybody's going. I think everybody's on Twitter, because Mr. Ackles is tweeting. Let's just take a look, because I think he posted a picture. And, yeah. Oh. It's a video of him singing Sister Christian. I just want to have it in the background, but maybe I should have it playing in the background. Oh, that's not Sister Christian. Liars. Anyway. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to hold off on the trivia. Well, you know what? Let me put the trivia question out there for a second, and then I will answer your question, Kanga. Okay, so the one thing about VegasCon that was really big was that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was there for the supposedly first time. I heard otherwise, but I've also heard that this was his first time. And so I would like to have a John Winchester trivia question. So John was talking to Sam, and he had said, I stopped being your father and I became your blank. So the first person to type in the correct answer, and it must be spelled correctly because I do care about spelling. I am a grammar Nazi, a spelling Nazi. So you will win a gift certificate worth $50. If you've already won from me in the past 4 weeks, I'm sorry, but you won't be eligible. Again, the question is, John Winchester was talking to Sam and had said, I stopped being your father and I became your blank. Fill in the blank. Okay, I'll fast forward the video. Hold on. Kanga's telling me to fast forward the video. All right. Like that. It's Jeff and Jensen. And a really shitty live stream connection here. Okay, here. All right. You know what? All right, I'll just leave this in the background. Unless you think I'm just... I was fucking there. Ah! Okay. All right, so if anybody wants to jump in and try to answer the trivia question. Oh, this is so distracting. He took off his jacket. All right, you know what? I can't. You are too distracting. I'm sorry. Damn. Okay, so again, the trivia question is, I stopped being your father and I became your blank. And if anybody missed my special announcement for who will be my next guest, it will be the lovely Kim Rhodes. So next week, same bat time, same bat channel, you will see Kim Rhodes being interviewed by me, and you will be able to ask your questions through the chat window. And I'm looking through my very professional, not professional notes, and I think I've hit everything on here. Yeah, so anyway, Kanga said drill sergeant. You're absolutely positively correct. Didn't you just win last week? I'm not sure. I can't keep track of these things. Email me or message me later on tonight. Message me later on tonight and we'll work it out, okay? because you're the only one that answered, and it is the right answer. Okay, awesome. Now, I just wanted to give a really quick rundown again of what promotions we've got going on. So first and foremost, I just wanted to also say a huge thank you to Instigator for being such a great supporter throughout VegasCon. They were tweeting and being really great about promoting me, and I really appreciate that. And a huge shout out also to the Winchester brothers again for all of your incredible support and just being, having my back, and I got yours. It's been, an experience, and I really appreciate your friendship. And Chicky and Bean, we conquered VegasCon together. That was fucking fun, and I look forward to the next. So I just wanted to give you a very brief description again about the contests that I have that are still open for entry. One being, if you have if you have had a photo op or a picture with, not necessarily at a convention, but if you have a picture with a cast member from Supernatural and you happen to be wearing one of my pieces, please tweet it. And you have until this coming Sunday at midnight. And if you tweet that, you will be entered for a chance to win a $50 gift card for my shop. That's one promotion. The second one is if my Facebook page reaches 1,500 likes, I will be giving away a $100 gift certificate good towards the jewelry in my shop. And the third contest is actually over. It's this one tonight, and it appears that Kanga has won. She did win last week, but no one else is answering. And yeah, so that's how that's going to work. So if no one answers, I guess it's okay. Carrie did win a couple weeks in a row. I think it was the week before last and the week before that. So, shit happens, right? I'm just happy that my stuff's going to good homes. I want to get back to Kanga's question about how does becoming a vendor work. Well, oh, yes, of course. Duh. Chicky and Bean pointed out that the 1,500 likes on my Facebook page, she is also throwing in a free t-shirt to go along with the $100 gift certificate towards any jewelry in my shop. Thank you to Chicky and Bean for that. That's very generous of you. And for those of you who have not seen her shirts, you need to go check out her Etsy shop, please. Shannon, why don't you put the link to your Etsy shop in the... Why don't you put your link in the chat window so that everybody could see? If not, all you have to do is search Chicky and Bean in Etsy, and her shop pops right up. And what was I going to say? Okay, so becoming a vendor is a process, because what it is they need to see that you're an established, that your business is established, and that it's done professionally, and you're doing everything right from a legal standpoint. You've got your tax ID number, you're doing your returns, that you've got the right to withhold sales tax from whatever states you're going to be working in. And, and then from there, they want to see what your merchandise looks like. They are very, you have to be very careful not to use images that are considered to be licensed. For example, you really shouldn't be using images of the actors without their permission. You shouldn't be using photo op images unless you own that JPEG that you bought from Chris. Other things, that are specific to the show, pentagrams are pentagrams are pentagrams, and those are not owned by anyone that's like owning the crucifix or the Star of David. So those are free reign, but you have to do your research. If you're considering doing supernatural themed merchandise, you do have to be careful to make sure that the images or symbols that you're using are not something that were designed by the art department of Supernatural. For example, the Mark of Cain, that's something that they designed themselves, as well as the Men of Letters. Those types of things are not something that I would, my own personal, the anti-possession symbol, those are things that are not, what are the words I'm looking for? They are not real. They're just not real. But they were designed by the art department of Supernatural. So you do have to be wary about those sorts of things. And then once they do a review of your work, they will contact you and let you know whether or not you've been approved. And it's, there's a table fee involved. It's an involved process. And let me tell you, it's a lot of work. These conventions are a lot of work. I mean, just the prep beforehand, before you even get on that plane to go, requires a lot of coordination, organization, and preparation, and alcohol. No, I didn't say alcohol. Of course I did. But yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's a labor of love, and that's why I continue to do it. And when you get to the convention and you see those fans walk through those doors, and they make a beeline to your table just to tell you how much they love your work, it's all worth it. It's worth every bit of blood, sweat, and tears. And I mean blood. I mean, seriously, I have gotten so stuck by wire this weekend making stuff for you people. But again, I loved it. It's a labor of love, as I said. Okay, well, I want to congratulate Kanga again for winning the $50 for answering the trivia question. I stopped being your father and I became your blank, and she answered with drill sergeant. 1,000% correct, coming from a math teacher, 1,000%. So anyway, if anybody doesn't have anything left to comment, oh yeah, Shannon's mentioning, imagine talking for 12 hours and standing for 8 for 4 days in a row. Yeah, and that's without having to do everything else you have to do at the table too when you're not talking to someone or whatever. It's a lot of work. The paper cuts, yes. And not eating real food for 4 straight days. Okay, well, with that being said, I want to say thank you to all of you for watching, and I really appreciate you tuning in every week. I really do. It means a lot to me. I love hearing from you, and you can always reach me on Twitter at Eldwin. You can see my Facebook page, which I posted earlier, so you can scroll up through the chat window, and my Etsy shop, which I will put here quickly. www.elwin.etsy.com, and that's it. So I want everyone to have a very good night. Have an amazing drink night, and I will see you again next week with our guest, Kim Rhodes. Get your questions ready. Don't leave that woman sitting hanging, please. All right, love all of you. Bye.